And then describe the scene for us.
Well, it's just literally happening as I speak right now. You can see perhaps behind me, the plane has just landed like seconds ago. We have been waiting really all day, and officials, people from his party, the FBI party, have been here for a few hours at the presidential pavilion waiting for him to land, and it's finally happened. So we'll just be, I think, a few minutes before he can probably disembark the plane and enter the VIP access, which he is granted access to, and then make his way into the presidential pavilion. So, of course, we'll be following this very closely. And what I can also tell you is that in the last few hours, it's just gotten very more crowded in the presidential pavilion. At first, it was really initially just officials and some members of the FPI party that were given access, plus the press, obviously, that were given access to this restricted area. And we could hear some detonations and some noises and potentially rubber bullets being fired outside that were getting closer to the presidential pavilion. As you know, we have heard stories of people being dispersed and clashes between police forces and pro-Gbagbo partisans who were trying to come here to welcome him in person. So they haven't been able to come in, but what we have seen more in the last few minutes is hundreds of partisans, militants who haven't been able to come in here, just make their way in the next building, and you can probably hear them chanting right to my left, about a few meters away, 100 meters from me, just chanting and waiting. And they're very excited, obviously, to hear him that he's finally landed.
He's finally landed. Hannane, when you spoke earlier with supporters of Laurent Gbagbo, how do they view this moment? Is this just the return of a man, or the return of somebody who they want to be their new leader again?
Well, for his supporters, it's definitely not just the return of any man, just a man. It's much more than that. You know, they have sort of erected him as sort of a martyr that has been just politically charged for crimes that he wasn't responsible for, or just scapegoated for things that happened during the post-electoral crisis, and just become this martyr. Now he's a hero to a lot of people who are expecting that his return will help turn a page in the country's history, will help with the process of national reconciliation. At least that's what we're hearing from his different collaborators, people who are part of the party, who are really seeing him as an instrumental part of that national reconciliation, if not the only important part of that national reconciliation. Now, when it comes to seeing him as their leader and what kind of role he'll be taking in that political scene, I think it's a little too early to say. Some voices are expressing that they want him to take a very important role in that political scene. Others are saying that, of course, it's up to him. We haven't heard him express himself much on that topic, so I guess we'll have to see if he chooses to speak when he gets through to the presidential pavilion.
Yeah, that brings us to what the terms and conditions are of his return. Do we know about that at all?
We don't know much. Those are questions that the press and many observers have been asking themselves for the last few weeks. What exactly is that return going to imply, and what kind of conditions will that also open for the former president of Ivory Coast? What we do know is that he is receiving somewhat of an official welcome here to Côte d'Ivoire, that the government has extended an olive branch by just giving him access to that presidential pavilion. That was not guaranteed at first, and actually his spokesperson of the party, of the FPI party, said a few days ago that that gesture of granting him that VIP access was a show of basically that the government is really trying to take a positive stance, and mostly that they can be trusted. I think that it is also a sign, to an extent, that this national dialogue that has started in the country can really take him into consideration. Now, for the rest of those conditions, I can't tell you more. I think we'll have to wait a little bit to find out.
Stay with us, Hannane Ferdjani.